This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Well, joining us today is Andrew Bell, the CEO of Red Rock Resources, following an agreement to acquire the remaining 49.9% interest in Red Rock Australasia, making it the sole owner pending due diligence, funding, board approval, and any necessary shareholder approvals. Well, thank you for joining us today, Andrew. How are you?
I'm very well. I've been busy.
Good. Okay. Well, I know you're travelling to the DRC. We'll touch on that in a moment, but let's just talk about the news from this morning then. So it is conditional, but Red Rock have agreed to basically take the... Sorry about that. That's very unprofessional on my part. I will do that question again. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Andrew. Let's talk about the news today about Red Rock taking effectively conditional but full control of new Ballarat Gold Corporation. Could you give some context as to this decision and why it's beneficial for Red Rock?
Yes, this was started when Paul Johnson, this joint venture started when Paul Johnson was the person running Power Metal Resources, and he and I have worked together a long time, and we both, I think, believed in the Australian asset. Now, under a different CEO, POW is going in a different direction. They have very specific ideas about what they're doing and the projects that they're going to focus on, and naturally enough, they want to get out of the things that they don't think are central to them. And their 49.9% shareholding in Red Rock Australasia, new Ballarat Gold, was not central to their purposes. So they were not going to be keen to continue promoting that and pushing it forward. And clearly that was not a good thing either for the project or for us as 50.1% shareholders. So it made sense for us to get the reins into our hands. And this gives us a lot of strategic flexibility about how to go forward. And in fact, by putting even if we didn't do the deal in the end, we put the asset, the project into play. And we are getting, people coming to us already talking about different things that we might do. So we are, in fact, if we take the whole thing on, then we would be looking to list it. And we've got people talking to us already about pre-IPO funding. We've got some people coming to us and saying we could take the whole thing over and do it. And all these things can be looked at to see what's best. But it is a substantial gold asset that can be brought into production within a couple of years for quite high grade. And it's got treatment facilities nearby, and we are quite well advanced in terms of knowing what's there. We've done some drilling. There's a host of old data. Putting it together and getting a resource is going to be a relatively easy thing to do. We've looked at that, and so we can fast track it. And we've got a very good team there that know how to do that. So with the gold price having broken its new high ground, it's splendid for us to be able to take an aggressive approach and do something with it. Now, which exactly direction we go with it, we don't know yet, but we have that strategic flexibility. We got control of the asset. It's a really good asset. It's got a very good team, and it's got good prospects.
Okay, and do you need to? You mentioned about sort of seeking board approval, necessarily shareholder approval, due diligence, etc. So what has got to be done, and what do you have to almost make a pitch to shareholders to approve this?
No, we don't actually. We don't need to get shareholder approval. It gives us the optionality to do that. We might say, well, look, this is going to require a certain amount of funds. We'd like to, or issue shares. We'd like to issue those shares. We might want to get specific approval from shareholders for that particular transaction. Now, we haven't made any decisions about all of that, but we left ourselves with flexibility. We don't, after all, know how the price is going to react in the market now that we've made this announcement. We hope that when people understand what possibilities this opens to us, it'll be taken extremely positively. But we wanted to leave ourselves with as much flexibility as possible in how we take the next steps with this. But we've had a very busy week. I've made a quick trip to Kenya. I think we're sorting things out there with that quick trip. I then came back and we sorted out Australia. And now I'm on my way to Congo, and I hope we're going to be sorting things out there in the next few days. So that'll be a very productive short period where some of our base projects, our original projects, will be brought to a position where they're quite strong looking forward.
Yes, indeed. So your trip to DRC, then, you want to come away from that having sorted out that arbitration issue and having the payment, ideally.
Yes. I mean, everybody had agreed on what to do. There is somebody who has been trying to cause delay. Actually, it's a lawyer for the other side who is concerned that not all the other side were keen for him to be involved. Because they thought he was going to add to costs, but he said that he could get us so that we got nothing, and then they could all divvy up the money between them. So the lawyer was trying to make himself into a kind of principal. Now, he hasn't succeeded in any of that, but he still thinks he should be given a whole lot of money, and he's worried that his clients aren't going to pay him. So he's trying to delay the deal. And because he's been made a minister, though he's going to be leaving that position very shortly because he's actually a holdover, he tried to use his influence. He failed completely. He was made to commit to doing what was required by the arbitration, and he's just been playing for delay a little. But it's to protect his own position and to scoop his spoon into his clients. And if he can't do that, he wants to get us to pay him off. We are not going to. His clients can pay him, not us.
Okay. Well, hopefully that week goes... Well, how long are you there for, Andrew? About a week?
Oh, no. I think we should be able to do our business in a couple of days.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can catch up in, not so long then, and see how that indeed did go. Just finishing off on New Ballarat Gold, you mentioned about fast-tracking. I mean, when would you like to get some activity going here? When will we be drawing up some plans and having those discussions?
Oh, it started already. And, we've got different people who are looking at this. We have, Dave Holden out in Australia has his contacts. David Lenegas has his contacts. Sam Quinn has his contacts. We have other people. We're looking at an array of possible shells, brokers we might work with on a listing, and other structures too. And it's good to have all of these in play because we can then compare them with each other and make the right decision. And I think that the fact that people are now a bit more focused on gold, with gold in new high ground in US dollar terms, means that everyone is a little bit more energized. So they're all looking at this sort of thing and thinking about it. So I think we can move forward quite rapidly in at least establishing a direction.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for giving us that update. I know you're about to get on a flight, so do have a good trip, and I hope it's successful.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like, or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.